Hey there, guys, out in the cyber world. How are you today? So, I've been doing a lot of research and looking around at different platforms and stuff as an alternative to Facebook. So, I wanted to share something interesting that I read today from Mint Press News. I don't know if you guys have heard of Mint Press News, but it's an excellent publication, all fact-based news and independent journalism. So I'm going to share the screen and bring up this article, and we're going to talk a little bit about Facebook and censorship, and I'm also going to take you through the steps that you need to download all of your data. You can download all of your data, get all of your pictures, all of your messages, all of your everything off of Facebook, and just store that data, photographs that you want, just in case, because especially if you are of the mindset that you're sharing alternative news and views, that Facebook is fact checking and threatening you and saying all this kind of draconian stuff. So you can download all of your data that Facebook keeps, by the way. If they kick you off of your account and block you out, which they can do that because they updated their terms, they can do that. They are doing that. And I'm going to show you today how to get your data, all of your data, and what you need to do for that. Okay, so but first, before I show you guys how to get your data, I want to take you to this article by Mint Press News. Really important stuff here, and just bear with me. I'm just going to do one more share here while I still can. I thought I had done that. Oops, I thought, oh, it's not letting me do a watch party, which it normally does. How strange is that? Anyway, can't do a watch party. Facebook is really trying very, very hard to flatten our reach. I've noticed that after October 1st, my videos have been getting way less reach. My husband told me he doesn't even see the videos that I'm doing coming up in the feed. So yeah, I'm going to show you guys all a way to do this. Get all your photos, all your videos. And I want to share this article with you guys first, just to give you a look at this. This blew me away. This came out of Mint Press News, and the link should be in the full description now. I tried that. That's something new I did. So you should be able to copy and paste those links. So right now I'm in a Mint Press News link. So here, let me pull this screen up, and let's take a look at this. So here is the title of this article. Let me just scroll it up over here. Mint Press News is wonderful. Love Mint Press News. If you haven't heard of them, I highly recommend that you check these guys out. Let me just get rid of this here so I can read this to you. So the Israeli government censors Facebook's new free speech court. You guys, you can't make this stuff up, okay? This is really creepy. Okay, days away from the most polarized electoral contest in American history, social media companies like Facebook have vowed to censor any voices which they and their partners in the federal government consider inconvenient. According to the Wall Street Journal, Facebook is ready to implement election information strategies that have been in the works for years. I've heard this said before about Facebook. So just take a look at this. So company spokesman Andy Stone told the Wall Street Journal that the social media giant will be applying the lessons learned from previous elections in accordance with the designs of hired experts and vague references to the new teams who are leveraging their experience across different areas to prepare for various scenarios. Does that make you feel secure? I'm going to show you guys how to get your data, but let's just keep looking at this article a bit here. So Mark Zuckerberg's de facto monopoly over online peer-to-peer communication. This is where it's really frustrating because Facebook has a monopoly on, one of the largest social networks in the world, okay? And this is not by mistake either, guys. We could get all deeper into that. I highly suggest that you check out the work of Whitney Webb, who also has written for Mint Press, but you can find her work at the American Vagabonds, which I should have put a link in there, but I didn't. Sometimes these things just start to come up as I go along, like, oh, this is a great resource. One day I'm just going to compile Jay Cherry's favorite resources so that you guys can go check those out yourself. So Facebook and inordinate, they have a tremendous amount of influence. So let me just read to you here some of the people that are here. So last week, the company took a major step in solidifying its grip over the content purveyed on its platform with the official launch of the Facebook Oversight Board. You heard that, guys? The Facebook Oversight Board. Okay, a body that is to function like a Supreme Court of chat rooms, if you will, with the power to review any decisions regarding post removals or completely deplatforming you, and to make policy recommendations. Members have been drawn from law experts, rights activists, journalists from around the world. The Oversight Board currently boasts 20 members. Let's take a look at some of these members. Four members, two of which have extensive experience in the U.S. judicial system, serve as the board's co-chairs and were handicapped by Facebook according to The Guardian's other board members, including former Danish Prime Minister Helle Thorning-Schmidt. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, so bear with me on that. Who is also a co-chair and perhaps is the only remembered outside of Denmark for her selfie faux pas at Mandela's funeral in 2013 when she was photographed taking a group photo with Barack Obama and David Cameron during the commemoration. She sounds like a real class act there. So let's keep reading here. Okay, Thorning-Schmidt's insensitive moment at the laying in state of one of the most significant figures of the 20th century may be less damning to her presence on social media oversight board than the tax evasion scandal involving her husband, a British MP, which ended up costing her re-election. When confronted over the accusations, she retorted that if her intention had really been to evade taxes, she would have done so much more elegantly. This is your Facebook board, folks, deciding what you can and cannot do on Facebook, deciding if you're going to be deplatformed or not. These are the people that are doing this. So I want to bring up another one, and then you guys can check out the rest of this article. Highly recommend it. This is Mint Press News that I'm pulling this off of. Okay, so Emmy Palmer. She is, let me back up just a little bit here. Okay, so Emmy Palmer, for example, presents a much more alarming profile. One of the 16 non-chair members of the board, Palmer, is a former general director of the Israeli Ministry of Justice. She was directly responsible for the removal of tens of thousands of Palestinian posts from Facebook. Before being fired from that job, Palmer had created the so-called Internet Referral Unit at the ministry, a cybersecurity team that deliberately targeted and took down aforementioned content, and whose nomination to the Facebook Oversight Board was loudly protested by pro-Palestinian advocacy groups back in May. So that is the Mint Press News article that I wanted to share with you guys. But I want to also bring you into how to download all of your information on Facebook, and then you're going to have it in a file. So what Facebook is going to do is they're going to, hold on a second here as I pull this up. So what Facebook is going to do is you're going to be able to select it. I'm going to take you through the steps, and then it's going to take a couple of days, and then Facebook's going to send you a file, and it's only available for a few days or a week or something like that. So you want to make sure you collect that data. If you care about your data, if you're concerned that you can be completely deplatformed, wiped out of your account forever, for the eternity, stricken from the bizarre world of social media these days as the technocrats try to silence any dissent amongst the people by taking it and making these social media sites into a monopoly. But there are options for you. So let's first start with getting rid of that data. So I'm going to share screens with you guys. Hopefully I'm on the right screen here. Here we go. So here you guys can see I'm in my Facebook account. So what I'm going to want you guys to do is you're going to go over to your account, and hopefully I'm not going to be giving you my very, very personal information here. So you're going to go into your account, and you want to go into your settings and your privacy, and it's going to take you into, let's see here. So you want to go into your settings. So it's going to give you all of this stuff here, right? All of your information, and I probably should have had that blocked out, but so all of your information, and you want to go into your privacy section here, and then you can download, you're going to be able to download your profile. Did I get it in the right place here? Security and login. Sorry, I'm in the wrong section for that. And I'm freezing up for some reason. So, oh, no. What did I do? I did the wrong thing. So let me back out of here for a second, guys. Let me pull this up. Just a second. Let me pull up the screen that I want for you guys. So I'm going to pull it out of here for a second and bring you back over here because I want to get right directly to that particular board. And where the heck did it go? Everything just, my system just went nuts on me here. So I apologize. Here I am live in real time and my system just went nuts on me. So bear with me as I go back to my new scene here. So here we go. Sorry about that. So I'm going to get the Facebook, the page for you guys. So you're going to want to go into your settings and your privacy. So you're going to go into your settings on Facebook, and I just want to pull that up because I do have a lot of my personal information in here, and I just did this. I'm so sorry that let me put on my glasses here. So you're going to basically go into your settings and your security and login. It's your Facebook information, actually. So here it is. Let me pull it back up for you. It's your Facebook information. I'm going to share the screen so that you guys can see it. And of course, everything just went kaputs on me again with my technology. I apologize for that. I'm having a little difficulty here. I just did an update to this. So here you can see where you can download your information, right? So you're going to get that off of, you're going to go over here, you're going to click on the settings, and you're going to go to your Facebook information. Then you can go to download your information, okay? So you can download that information, and let's see. I'm going to pull over to here real quick. Just bear with me. So you're going to download, you go over to here, so you're going to view your information. And what it's going to give you is the ability. So I just did this today. So it's just telling me everything that I can download. So let me just show you guys. This is pretty cool. All your posts. So you could click a check if you want that. All your photos, comments, likes, reactions, your stories, who you're following, your followers, your messages, your groups, the events you've been to. Listen to all this information, though, that is on your Facebook. It's really, really pretty wild. So marketplace activities, your payment histories, saved items and collections, your places, a list of all the places you've created, apps and websites, other activities associated with your account. I'm not really sure what that means, but you can download that. So I just did a full download. So your trash. I didn't even know Facebook had a trash. Your archives, short videos, account center, your profile information for Facebook news. What is that? Campus information rewards. Not sure what that is. Ads if you have a business, your search history, locations related to your locations, about you information associated with your Facebook account. Information associated with your Facebook account. What does that mean? So interesting, right? I haven't gotten the full file because this is like all updated. So I'm just doing a new download. I did this a couple years ago, by the way. So you know, I'm not sure if some of you already know that you can do this. You can download all of your stuff. So these are all the things, voice recordings. So it's really, really simple, guys. You're just going to go into your information on Facebook. Let me just pull it out of here a little bit so I can take you back. You're going to pull into all your information. It's super, super easy. You'll be able to get your Facebook information, and you just go to download information. And then it will give you everything that you need to get your information downloaded to you. And they'll give you 2 file formats that you can use to get that information. So you just go to download your information, you check on all the boxes, and you can download it all, every single stitch of it. Now it's going to take a couple of days. You can download it in 2 file formats. I've downloaded it in HTML, but I'm also going to download into the other file format as well, as like JNOS or something. I'm not familiar with that type of file format. But then you're going to get, I'm going to take you guys out of here for a second. Then you're going to get a folder. So here's my folder. So you're going to get a folder. This is my Facebook folder. Oh, you're not really able to see that. Here, let me pull this down so you guys could see that. Sorry, the screen is such a mess. Let me just, so there you're going to get your folder. This is an older one, so bear with me, and you're not able to see that so well. So this is an older one. So basically it just gives you a folder of all your stuff, if you could see that. So I'm just going to click on that. So this is just like all of my photos from Facebook. These are old photos too, guys. I'm so happy to have all of these photos. Now this is from a previous download. I just did it again. This was from 2 years ago. So I had downloaded my information from Facebook a couple of years ago. And so you get all of your photographs. You also are going to get all of your videos. So I'm not sure at what point, like how many choices they had given me a couple of years ago, but it gives you, sorry, that's photos again, but it gives you all your videos. And I downloaded it in HTML format. So these are all the videos that I ever did. As you can see, you guys know, I do a lot of videos on Facebook. So these are all the videos that I've ever shot or did or filmed on Facebook. So it's very, very easy for you guys to go in there and do that as well. Get all of your data off of Facebook as soon as you can. It's really a good idea to just download that information while you have access to it, just in case you did get kicked out of Facebook, because this is very possible. How do you get to this? Oh, it's right, it's right in the upper corner of your Facebook page. Here, I'll pull that up here. So it's right in the upper corner. Let me share screen again. I'm sorry, my system just went a little nutty and everything's a little weird here on the back end. You guys, of course, can't see, but let me get over here to share my screen. It's just very frustrating when that happens when I go live. I have it all set up, so I think. So you're gonna, oops, let me zoom out. Sorry about that, guys. So you're gonna, and now it's like really giving me a hard time. So you wanna, I'm zooming out here, and you're gonna get it, it's over here. I'm trying to maneuver it so that you can see. It's like my system is being a little wacky. I just had updated everything, so bear with me. I apologize for that. So it's going to be over in your settings area. And of course, it's not allowing me to show you that. Can you see that now? So it's right over here in this area. So you go up over here. You guys can see that now. So you go up over to here. You go to privacy and settings, okay? And then you go into your settings. It's going to give you, then you get your information. So you see how easy that is? It's all over here. You have your bar up here, right? You have a little icon. Everybody's got it. I know they change things around. It gets a little confusing. I totally get that. It was confusing to me for a little bit because last time I had done it, it was in a different location. And then it gives you all your stuff. You go to your settings and your privacy, and then it'll take you to your Facebook information where you can go and you can download everything. Everything you've ever posted onto Facebook can be downloaded. They'll give you a nice handy file. It'll take them a few days. Pay attention. Mark down the date that you took the file just to make sure. There's probably going to be a lot of people doing this. So just make sure you write down the date. Pay attention to the email that will come to you with this big file of all of your data. And if you're like me, I've been on Facebook for a really long time. So I have quite a bit of data, and getting these family photos back into my own possession is really, really nice. And as I was going through the photos, there's some things on there that I just completely forgot that I had even put up on Facebook. So I'm really, really happy, like old photos of my children, old videos, even videos of my family on vacation. And I'm so happy to have those in my possession. Now, I had done that a couple of years ago, so I just did it again. I had done it in 2018, so I had just did it again, and now I'm really looking forward to getting the file of the last few years because they've added more categories that you can download that that wasn't an option before. So I'm looking forward to really going through the entire thing, because in the last download of my data, it just gave me photos, messages. It didn't give me contacts and all this other stuff. So I cannot wait to get that download. It does take a couple of days, so don't get impatient with it. Just keep your eyes on it. Make sure you pay attention to that email, because it goes away in a couple of days if you don't take advantage and get that file. It's totally worth it. Then I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to take you over here real quick. I do have something I want to share with you guys about Governor Lamont, but I want to share another thing here. This is Float. So I'm going to go right over to, I'm not as familiar with this page. So this is Float. This is a new platform. There's quite a few people on Float. So I set up a new profile here on Float. You can find me at jcherry17 on Float. You can do lives. You're going to be able to do live streams on Float. You can do a live stream on Float now. I haven't tested it yet. And that is with another program that I'm not as familiar with, but they said they're going to be adding a live stream without the other software. There's all kinds of software to live streaming. So I'm comfortable with the software that I'm using. So I'm hoping I don't need to use other software. But anyway, so this is Float. Float is pretty cool. I've been enjoying Float, so you can follow. So you could see here on Float, the way it's set up kind of reminds me of Twitter, and you can see it has a live button. There's all kinds of people that you can follow, people that have been kicked off. Obviously, you can see I have Alex Jones there, but you can follow a bunch of different people for your thought project, different folks on Float. So that is a pretty interesting, sorry about that. It's pretty interesting though, about Float. So let me see here. I'm going to go back into my scene here. Let me switch. Sorry, the whole system just right before I went live got a little strange on me. So that's Float. And then there's also Telegram. So a Telegram allows you to do up to 200,000 people in a group, and you can set up a total program. You can set up a channel on Telegram. So Telegram is a great messaging resource. So I just wanted to let you guys know also about Telegram. So there's Float and there's Telegram. There's also Parler, but I've been lately, the last couple of days, really diving into these two other ones just to have a place where we can share information and not be censored. It's really important. So I wanted to share this article with you that really upset me. And this is, oh my gosh, I just had this up and it was no problem before. Let me see here. Let me get this. Hopefully it didn't take the article away. So this is Governor Lamont. Let me go here and make sure you guys can see the screen here. So this is Governor Lamont. This is really disturbing, and I'm very concerned about what is going to be happening in Connecticut if we continue this way. So unfortunately, the screen, there we go. Now you guys can see it. So Governor Lamont is really going to be cracking down. Oh, I apologize. I hate when it does that. So Governor Lamont is really going to be cracking down, and I'm going to get this so you guys can see it. It's this new update that I'm not quite used to, and it's, there we go. Let me get that out. I want to get it so you can see it, but I don't want to blind you with it. So let me go over here. So here's the headline of this article. Daily coronavirus updates. The numbers worsen, and the officials predict a surge. And so Governor Lamont basically had this to say. So on Monday, Lamont called for stricter local enforcement of COVID-19 rules following several incidents at Connecticut bars. As one hospital official predicted, Connecticut's current coronavirus outbreak might not peak until mid-January. Okay, so speaking at Lamont's press briefing, Nuvance Health CEO Dr. John Murphy said his hospital expected COVID-19 numbers to continue to increase. So this wave, we're at the beginning of it. We're not at the end of it, Murphy said, citing statistical models. Murphy said hospitals are better at treating COVID-19 than they were during the spring, resulting in fewer patients requiring admittance to the intensive care unit. Still, he predicted a tough winter ahead as the state's numbers continue to increase. So my question is, no journalist asks this. It's cases, cases, cases. Who has symptoms? How severe are those symptoms? How many people have severe symptoms? How many people need to be hospitalized? Those kinds of things. If it's all cases, what does that mean? How accurate are the tests? What about Sema4 and Thermo Scientific and Annie Huntress Lamont and Josh Gabal, who both have financial interest in Sema4 and Thermo Scientific? Nobody in the press ever asks that question. Not a single person, not a single soul ever asked those questions. Let's continue on with this article. So, Lamont on Monday announced that 2,047 positive results since Friday out of 92,000 tests, blah, 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 2.2%. But actually today I saw it jacked up. It's almost 4.1%. You can't make this up, folks. And it's all based on these tests, right? And I got a slide to share with you about these tests. Okay, all this testing, and the tests aren't accurate. So if you get a positive, is that positive a positive? Is it a false positive? What does it even mean? So if you test positive for COVID, does that mean that you're going to go into a automatic quarantine, not be able to go to work, have to stay on quarantine and then have to test negative to go back to work? What does all of this stuff mean? How long are we going to be held under these conditions with a governor operating outside of the basic process of our system? Okay? Due process, hearings, public input, you go through committees, the way the legislature works in Connecticut, bills before they even get to a point of being in a public hearing have to get out of committees. And there's all this process where you can write your legislators, and public input is there every step of the way. So when you cut out the legislative process, you have the executive branch operating like a monarchy, like a king, operating outside of our checks and balances system. This is extremely serious, and it's very concerning that Lamont has been operating on this. So let's continue on with this article. So the state currently has 270 patients hospitalized with COVID. That's a number I want to know. And I want to know, here's another question that reporters aren't asking. How many of those 270 people hospitalized are elderly? How many have underlying health conditions like autoimmune disease and immunosuppressive diseases and such things like that? What are the age ranges of those people? All those kinds of things. How are they treating them? What treatments? There's really exciting treatments for COVID that the mainstream is not talking about, including there's a doctor that I want you guys to look up. His name is Richard Bartlett. He used an asthma therapy for COVID patients. It's a certain type of steroid. I don't remember what the drug's name is, but you can go and look him up, Dr. Richard Bartlett, and you can get the exact name of that drug. I want to post more about that and talk more about that, because there are a lot of people that I love in the world that are immunocompromised that can get sick from COVID. No, I'm not going to wear a mask to protect them, because that's not going to work. That's a whole other story. But what I want to do is share the exciting information about treatments that are available, because masks are not stopping a virus. That is a bold-faced lie. I'm sorry. That's just the way it is. Show me the science, randomized controlled study that says that masks stop viruses. Just show me the science, and I'll be happy to look that over and do a whole story on that. But anyway, this video is not about masks. I just wanted to say that. So let me take you back over to the share screen here, and let's continue looking at this article. Oh no, I lost my share screen. It totally is obnoxious sometimes. Let me see, why am I losing the share screen? I don't understand how I lost my share screen. Let me see here. Sorry about that, guys. I don't know what happened to the share screen icon. Lost in real time. Let me there we go. There, got it back. Sorry about that. All right, so the state, we read that already. So let me just go over to here. And so here's a chart with all of the, I'm catching up on Connecticut's COVID-19 numbers after a week away and lots of upslides and all that kind of stuff. So Lamont on Monday suggested local officials more strictly enforce COVID-19 protocols, especially with regard to restaurants and bars. So this is the part that really, really upset me. I'm going to see if I could blow it up so you guys can read it along with me here. Let me see if I could blow that up. And so you can read this along with me. This is really upsetting. Okay, and he's got a video on Twitter. I'm going to show this video to you guys that he has on Twitter of one of the bars in Bridgeport. So at Trinity College, 14 students were banned from campus. Banned from campus. For how long, I wonder? After visiting a local bar. Can you imagine this? Look, this is just insane. After visiting a local bar, while in Fairfield, health inspectors shut down a pub due to a large indoor and outdoor crowds. Asked whether those incidents might lead to great enforcement of protocols. Great. Listen to that. Great enforcement of protocols limiting capacity at restaurants and bars. Lamont said, I think the answer is yes. Here he goes. This is a governor that wants to punish the people. Do you understand? All right. Look, all these lockdowns, all this social distancing, a virus is going to virus. It's basic microbiology, okay? Virus particles are in they're teeny tiny virons, okay? The only way to deal with a virus is the virus is going to virus, protect the vulnerable and the weak and build herd immunity. I don't know why that all of a sudden has become some like you're going to have a target on your head if you say herd immunity, like you're some cruel and crazy, horrid person. I want people to die, herd immunity. That's not how it works, okay? Herd immunity is when the population gains immunity through natural infection, because viruses mutate, okay? Viruses mutate. So herd immunity happens when the virus goes through the population. So what you want to do is you want to protect your elderly. You want to protect your immunocompromised people. You want to protect all of those folks. Masking up is a false sense of security. It's not protecting jack squat. Okay, it's protecting nothing. I don't care what flip-flop Fauci says. Back in March, flip-flop Fauci said masks were pointless. He also said that asymptomatic carriers, whatever that means, because it would be called pre-symptomatic, because asymptomatic simply means healthy people. It's like they're just taking and making these new terms. You're an asymptomatic carrier. No, I'm healthy. I'm not sick. Okay, if I get sick, then it was pre-symptomatic. Every healthy person isn't necessarily going to get COVID, okay, or get symptoms from COVID. Healthy people may develop T-cell antibodies and, a whole immune response to it without having any symptoms and could be completely immune. That's herd immunity. So to do this to people, to lock businesses down, to lock our state down, based on these ideas that social distancing and closing bars and restaurants is protecting anyone, is insane. And the scariest thing about this is the fact that they're never going to want to admit they were wrong. That's the scariest thing about this. And I'm not denying there's a virus. I definitely believe there is a virus. I actually know someone now who's had COVID and survived. I'll tell that story someday, okay? So, it's the whole idea, though, is that we're surrounded every day by viruses and bacteria, and respiratory diseases in general people who are elderly and immunocompromised are always vulnerable to respiratory illnesses. That's nothing new. And with this novel COVID virus, I I think that we need to open up our country, open up our states, and allow people to do what they do. But let's continue to read on what Lamont wants to do, because that's not what he wants to do. So here's what he says, and I'm going to stop at this article. You can check this article. I put it in the description. Hopefully that goes through on Twitter and YouTube as well. You can also follow me on BitChute. I'm moving all my videos over there just because I'm very concerned about the Facebook purge. Ever since October 1st, the videos that I do where I had a lot of reach on Facebook are not nearly getting near the reach that they were before, which is really disappointing that these social giants can do that. But anyway, let's get back to the article. People are flagrantly disregarding the key protocols and you end up with an outbreak, Lamont said at a press conference in Bridgeport. Right now we leave the law enforcement up to the local jurisdictions. And I'd like to think that they'd be really strict and make an example of Trinity and also Fairfield. This is what he's saying, okay? Meanwhile, businesses are suffering. People are suffering. We have long food lines. Unemployment rates are skyrocketing. It's bad, guys. It's really, really bad. So at the press briefing Monday, Lamont said enforcement will remain up to local officials, at least for now. I think our mayors, with the support from public health, are going to be on the front line there, the governor said. We'll see if they need more tools later. Oh, how convenient. So they go on with another graph. Death by the day, Monday 12, Friday 8. So my question is, are they dying? Oh, I'm sorry, I lost my screen again. I'll pull that back up for you. My question is, are they dying are they dying with COVID? Are they dying from COVID? Sorry, oops, I had it back. Are they dying with COVID or are they dying from COVID is the question I have. Because there is a difference. And the infant that passed away, and Lamont called it a COVID case, it wasn't a COVID case. It was a terrible, tragic accident. It was not COVID. The infant just tested positive for COVID. Because a positive test doesn't even mean you're going to get sick. And a positive test, it doesn't even mean that it's actually positive. It doesn't. It's just like, wow, unbelievable that this is where we are in the world today, because I just am blown away by the fact that a positive test could do that, because there are so many things wrong with that. So, and there goes my dog's barking. So I'm going to play this video while my dogs bark. Hold on a second, guys, as I get that video up. And one.
What is the percentage of people we're actually going to be testing for coronavirus that are showing symptoms? Are we sort of rationing out who we can test? Because I know you said it could be the flu, it could be cold.
But this is true for all laboratory tests that are done. They should only be done on people who are sick, because that's what was mentioned earlier. Testing somebody who's not sick is much more likely to give you a false positive than anything else. So in medicine, as a rule, we don't test people who are not sick. This is not a test for, are you a carrier of this virus? The reason to do this test is actually to establish a diagnosis in people who are sick, so we know who has coronavirus infection and who has some other cause for their illness.
Matthew Carter. He is the state epidemiologist. Hopefully my mic is unmuted so you guys can hear me. So he is the state epidemiologist, Matthew Carter. And you heard him say that there, guys, that it's not typical for healthy people to be tested for diseases that they're not symptomatic. If you have symptoms, then you want to go get tested. That makes sense. But to be perfectly healthy, to go get tested, it's very likely to give a false positive. I'm going to share this slide with you guys as well, and then I'm going to close out the show because I know that my dogs are going to bark again. And bear with me here as I pull that up. So Josh Gabal, here we go. I just want you guys to look at this. This is risk of inaccurate results with Thermo Fisher Scientific TAP-PATH COVID-19 combo kit. Letter to clinical laboratory staff and care providers. So it basically just goes to say that the tests were inaccurate. They were giving out false positives. And this is Thermo Scientific here. And I want to show you just a little bit more. This is Josh Gabal. Josh Gabal. Background includes leadership roles with several technology-oriented companies, including as vice president and general manager of Thermo Scientific, a multinational scientific technology company. Chief Executive Officer of Core Informatics, a software startup and focused on scientific data management, and as Vice President in the Technology Services of IRM, a multinational information technology company. This is Josh Gabal, guys. And as you can see, Josh Gabal has a heavy hand in Thermo Scientific. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to give you a default screen like that. It's Thermo Scientific. I got one more thing that I want to share with you, and then I totally got to go because I know my dogs are going to start barking. But I want you guys to do a little research on your own and go check out Victoria Eloise. I'm going to be live with her later this week at some point. She's been posting really intense stuff about what's going on. But she's done a lot of great research. I have a lot of respect for her. But she really turned me on to some of the stuff going on with Josh Gabal and how corrupt Annie Huntress Lamont and her cronies actually are. So you want to know these names. Josh Gabal, Thermo Scientific, SEMA4, Oak Healthcare FinTech, Oak Healthcare FinTech, Thermo Scientific, SEMA4. I'm going to show you another scene. And I'll post some links to this. I didn't originally put this into my notes. I've discussed this a lot of other times before. This is in one more Josh Gabal here. And this is who he is, just in case you guys were not, sure. He is the economic commissioner. He's basically running our state, okay? So he's running our state. He's making hand over fist, as is Annie Huntress Lamont. And it is high time that we demand full investigation into Governor Lamont's conflict of interest with his wife Annie's venture capitalist company that has made billions of dollars in healthcare, technology, testing, stand to make a lot of money from vaccines. Ezekiel Emanuel is one of her partners. Okay, Victoria was just doing a post on Ezekiel Emanuel, who, by the way, said when you're 75 years old, you're kind of done. You don't need any care. And he's like sizing up who should get care and who shouldn't. Like, some people are more eligible for care than others, those kinds of things. So, yeah, these are the characters that our governor's wife has stacked his reopening board. So this is all factual information, guys. You can go check it out yourself. Josh Gabal, Thermo Scientific, SEMA4, and their tests. I'm going to pull that up one more time. The FDA, so you can see that, guys, for yourself. FDA, Thermo Scientific. There was also an article in the Hartford Courant on this as well. And on that note, I'm going to leave you guys, and hopefully you guys are able to download all your data as I've been able to do. I'm really happy that I got my data off of Facebook. It's super easy. You can do that if you just clipped into this video. At the beginning of the video, I go through how to get your data off of Facebook and store it yourself. And just know that your data is not safe on Facebook. So think about that every time you post photos or anything that you care about. It's not secure, and the fascist Zuckerberg Facebook. Till then, we'll see you guys later.